Well. War 11. Yes, boys. And maybe girls, I don't know. Yeah, it's AGT-G yet again. We know these guys mean real business. Well, actually everyone in Masters of course do. But actually from the ones that we faced this season, because we already faced them, we know that these ones definitely are the hardest ones. Um, Anyways, I'll do my best. I think everybody else also does their best, and we'll see what happens. Basically, we need to win one war out of the last two um, to assure a master finish, which would be the first time for me, but also for the alliance that I've been in since I think last year, like around February. So that would be awesome. Anyways, let's go through the fights. First, it's Killmonger on that power weird node on path 2. Basically, you need to perform certain actions and then launch a special to reset those actions. If you don't reset it, the opponent gains passive furies constantly. And with Omega Red, I mostly ignore that. But there I did use a special. It didn't finish him, which honestly, looking back at it now, I don't know if my intention was to finish him or not. Because yeah, he already had some passive furies, so resetting the node didn't do much. Because he already had 6 passive furies. So it was better for me to just try and finish it off and just not eat the recoil and then well get a little bit more block damage because he has more furies, but yeah. Anyways, super easy fight to be honest. With Omega Red, it just you can't, especially on that node and that pad, you can't get it out of hand. So you need to control it, you need to throw specials, or you need a champ that you know that will melt the opponent very fast. Also in like less hits, which of course Omega Red does. The second fight on that pad someone else took because it was White Magneto. So yeah, not a fight for me. And basically I've got this man thing on Powersnack, and when I take this fight, well, I always have an invul boost on because you actually have no way to control his kind of power early on. Because yes, Omega Red can power control with his SP3, but you see here 1 dex, and he goes from exactly 2 bars of power. He gains like a full bar of power. It's combined with the node and Mystic Dispersion. So this is why you exactly want that invulnerability boost. But the times I've used it, it has never come into play. Menting always threw his SP1, his SP2, and I got my SP3 faster in those times I did this fight. But of course, this is an important war. Well, if I take this fight, I always use Invul Boost, but I'm just glad that it actually got used. And it's also the first time I throw 2 SP3s actually in one fight with Omega Red. This was actually my longest fight with him. Because of course I threw that SP3, maybe I should not have done that because it consumes all my spores. But because it consumed 30 spores, it also gives me a lot of power. So as you can see here, I threw that SP3, that second SP3 this fight. 35 hits, he's already at 0% HP, and I've got like that full yellow bar and he's gone. So yeah, perfect fight. Weird to see 2 SP3s of Omega Red, but we'll take the dub, especially with a full yellow health. Then the Mixmaster Nick Fury. This one I always find the hardest because of that second life where he hits super hard. Because if there is a cork here, it's like you can play it slow and there's never a feeling of wow, he's hitting hard, right? Maybe if you get hit by the SP1 and he has a lot of passive prowesses, yes, but normally he doesn't get there. While here with Nick Fury, his second life is very annoying. So the first life, and you can parry here compared to Cork early on, right? Because he can shrug it. Unless of course I have multiple spores on him. But yeah, here early on I can parry, so it's not that hard to get up my spores. I do feel like I should have played better early on, or well, I say better, but I should have getting more sports on him, basically. And that's what I didn't do. But then again, that first life is over now, and I've still got like full health. Yeah, it took a while, or like, right, a minute, but doesn't really matter actually. What does matter is what will happen here. And that's basically that you see now he suddenly gets a tactical charge from my medium, and he gets another one. He throws that SP1. Now he gets 8 from being in the second life, so he's now he has 12. Counter heavy. I put on my degen. Okay, it doesn't give him tactical charge. I get a parry in, so I reduce. Wow, 2 mediums give him 2 tech charges, which is reduced with mutants. But of course, well, actually, I say of course it didn't happen actually a lot this season. Did it even happen where he got like this much tactical charges? I don't know even. But yeah, now he's unblockable, and here I'm actually over panicking with that SP3 I was panicking. Now I get hit because I forgot about Mixmaster. And why is this like kind of panic? I did get a nice intercept, and that kind of saved me, I say. But why was this panic? Or I also had like kind of a jump scare. There was no sound, by the way, in this because I recorded not the in-game sound, but the mic sounds per accident. And yeah, I said like, God damn it, when I threw my SP3 immediately, which was actually just a panic because if he threw that SP1 while he was unblockable, it would just give him a second Fury and it would not be unblockable, so I would not get hit by that. So it was actually a scare for no reason, besides the fact that, of course, with 2 Furies, that SP1 will hit hard on your block, especially if he has built up some prowess from baiting it, right? But I wasn't really baiting it, which I maybe could have done till he had some prowess, and yeah. Well, if I get cornered, it would definitely have been worse, but it was a little bit of an overreaction. Um, but I made it through, and I didn't die. That's important, because of course I want to keep it with 1 death. Yeah, and basically this fight, the EMP mod Elsa Bloodstone, um, yeah, the fight is already over because I was still about the NF fight. Yeah, her SP1 is actually fairly easy to evade, but of course you just don't want to do that with EMP mod. You don't want to trigger Dex. So I just blocked it, and that's basically the fight. You can Dex it once if you want. EMP mod won't hurt you, but I think blocking the attacks is actually cost less of your health. Even though I didn't really need to heal up Omega Red for my next fight, I do still have a fight with him, right? This is a Magneto fight. After that I've got an Omega fight, but at this stage the global is down. So Sentinel, because I was not assigned any minis, I was like, yeah, I can wait. Sometimes the officers say, okay, you take the fight down because they are very hard with the global, and without global it's way easier. These fights I had were actually easy with the global up. It's just that I was like, okay, if the global is down, I can just use a 10% boost. I can use max freely. Here you see that SP2, it doesn't trigger protect because there is no protect at this stage with the global down. So I can just freely use that SP2, hit him, not trigger protect, not needing an intercept to get rid of protect. Super easy fight. Yeah, and that's that fight. Then the next fight is Moleman on Buffet. And with any fight on Buffet with Omega Red, except I guess robots, I just, yeah, you kind of play it slow. You get some spores up. You try not to dex. Even if you dex once, don't worry. As long as you get those like spores high up and you can reset them and whatever, this fight will be easy peasy. So that's my plan, and that's basically what's gonna happen. You also don't want to hit his block if he has Monster Mass. At this stage he doesn't have Monster Mass. With 10 spores up, he has no way of shrugging, but he does somehow. I must have missed something how it works, but he did get Monster Mass, so I can't hit on the block. And because he was playing very passive, I didn't care too much, because yeah, my spores were still up, my degen was still up. Well, even I think the degen fell off, but my spores were still up and did enough damage. And basically, that's the fight for me, or that's the war for me. Um, and yeah, we did lose. Unfortunately, AGT-G actually kind of gave us a chance, in my opinion, early on. Because last war, I think they died 3 times. Now they died 5 times. Um, we also did better than the last time we faced them, but yeah, it was not enough. Um, so basically, all will be on the last war of the season if we get Masters of not or not. And you know what? Maybe I'm recording this when the war is already over. Maybe not. Maybe there's just an hour left. Maybe 2 hours. Maybe you're just waiting on someone to finish. Well, we'll see that next war. Bye.